gonna be a smooth day.
Okay.
No question.
No question.
We're gonna just sit up here and look good.
So, Cleveland, Levi Damien from SB Nation. Welcome to the team. I just basically, last night, Mike Mayock said that despite everything that you'd been through in your life, that you were, quote, a ball of positive energy. Where would you say you get that from?
For me, oh shoot, it's kind of loud. For me, it more so just comes from where I grew up and just how I was raised, man. Regardless of the circumstances, it's just always about your attitude and about your outlook on life. And you can always be in a worse situation. You know what I mean? So for me, it's always about my attitude. So regardless of anything that I ever been through, any struggles or success, I always try to keep a positive attitude because that's so important just as far as, affecting others and, just being, if you wanted to get out of those situations. So for me, man, I was just happy, a ball of energy, man. I'm so excited. This is a great, it's been a great process, getting to know a lot of different coaches, a lot of different, players, teams, workers that work for organizations, man, and to go to a team that, I love from the beginning, it was truly a blessing. So I can only be happy when I was meeting with the Raiders and Mayock and Coach Gruden, man. So I'm so happy to be here, man. It's such a blessing for real.
My name is Scott Bair from NBC Sports here in the Bay Area, and this is a question for any of you three. Normally for these first-round press conferences, there's one of you, but there's three of you up here, and Mike Mayock has said that they're looking for foundation pieces. Do you think that there's going to be a bond between you three, kind of knowing that this franchise wants you guys to kind of set a new standard and kind of take this team into better times?
Me personally, I don't even think it's about that. I think the type of guys that Mike Mayock and John Gruden wanted to bring in, we all kind of pretty much similar guys, high character guys, hard workers. I think that'll bring us closer together more than anything.
Very, very true. I feel like it's not so much about us taking over a team. It's more so just about getting the right nucleus of guys in here, people that are about the right things. Because when you talk about an organization like this one, man, that has such a rich history and tradition, and we're trying to get back to that, it's not about just getting to a Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl. It's about sustaining that, sustaining that dynasty, that legacy. And how do you do that? Most people think you just bring in the best players and scrap together a team that's very talented and win a Super Bowl. But when you want to sustain that, you got to bring in the right guys that'll last you, over the years and times and things like that, and that's gonna hold people accountable and want for others what they want for themselves, man. So it's such a blessing to know that I was drafted with guys so far that are really, really good guys and great ball players, man. So we ain't done yet though. We still got a lot to do in the draft, man, and we just can't wait to get started because we ain't nothing but rookies now. That draft stuff for us is over now. We just rookies, so we just want to earn the respect of our teammates and learn how to be a Raider. So.
Yeah, that kind of said everything.
Hey, Jonathan, what does the number 24 mean to you? I saw you put that out on social media that it looks like that's going to be your number. In Cleveland, you already summoned your inner Suge Knight at the championship game, telling people to come to the dark side. What do you tell your fellow draft picks now coming to the dark side?
You can go first.
For me, for that number, that number carries a lot of weight, seeing that the message that Charles Woodson put out, about the shoes and the role I have to fill for the greats that played before me, like John Atkins and, Jack Tatum. And himself, he didn't want to include himself, but he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to go down as one of the greatest Raiders to ever play. So for, Coach Gruden to give me that number, it's some big shoes I have to fill. It's a lot I have to do. It's a lot of work that has to be put in, countless hours.
Yeah, for me, man, it's just a blessing because, what I would tell guys that we got something special going on here, and I can already feel it, and I just got here, man, and it's truly a blessing to be a part of an organization where the legacy is already so big and broad that, you got guys like Howie Long, and I was blessed enough to be the recipient of the Ted Hendricks Award, man, and so knowing guys like that and knowing that they paved the way for someone like me to have the opportunity, and they were all about the right things, hard work, discipline, effort. You know, that's what it's all about, effort. Because this organization, you know, it's about hard workers and people that are very, very passionate about the game and their team, man. So it's such a blessing. And for any player that's going to be a part of this organization, man, I would just say just come in ready to work because we got big goals and big dreams for ourselves.
Matt Calhara from the San Francisco Chronicle. Mike Mayock said last night that the one obligation he shared with the three of you as first-round picks is to come in and show leadership, be leaders. And I'm just wondering from each of you how you plan to meet that obligation.
I mean, for me, you know, leadership, you know, I tell a lot of guys, you know, you can come in and, you know, be a loudmouth, you know, try to boss people around, but that doesn't, you know, that's not really, you know, what a leader is. First off, a leader is somebody who's going to come in and you got to be the same guy every single day. You got to work hard. You know, you got to be accountable. You know, if you're on time, then you're late. You know, showing up early, putting in the extra hours, you know, dedicating your life to this, you know. This is something that, you know, you can't just turn it on and off. This right here, you know, getting to the NFL, this is your life. Football, it doesn't change, you know. What it requires, what it takes, it doesn't change. Because, I mean, I tell guys all the time, if it was easy, everybody would do it. So you got to come in, you know, like I said, head down and work first off, you know, and that way you earn the respect of your peers, your coaches, you know, everybody around you. And then once you do that, you know, the standard is set. You know, it's easy to tell somebody to come on rather than trying to push them in a direction.
Yeah, for me, I'm all about leading through relationships. You know what I mean? It's a team aspect, man. And so I'm so big on earning my teammates' respect and just showing them that I'm all about the right things and I'm not trying to be nobody that's, you know, detrimental to this team. You know what I mean? And it's so hard. This game is so hard, and it's the biggest team sport, truly. And, you know, coming from the school that I came from, Josh, too, you know, it's a long process of trying to win, like, the peak in college, you know, win the national championship. And it's a lot of struggles that goes into it, coming from the outside and the inside out. So you want to go through that with guys that you love and that you know, have a respect for and have a relationship with. So, and you can't ask guys, how can you ask a guy to give it their all when he know he don't care about you? You know what I mean? And so for me, coming from a military family, my mama always told me, Cleveland, like, you got to understand, that drill sergeant who was training her for war, you know, he was hard on her all the time, but he knew that drill sergeant loved it because he didn't want her to go out there and die on that battlefield. You know what I mean? So for me, it's all about the relationships, man, and just letting the people around you know that any type of, you know, leadership role as far as holding them accountable and things like that, it comes from a good place because you want for them what you want for yourself. So that's the biggest thing, man. I'm all about us. You know what I mean? I care about the people that I work with, man. So I'm just so excited to get started.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what both of them said. Honestly, any great leader has to have a relationship to be able to get onto somebody and address it in the proper way without them, like, taking it the wrong way. But I'm the type of guy where leadership really is just going in and doing all the little things right, regardless if it's showing up on time or working hard every day, day in and day out, to even be in a position to say something to somebody else. So I feel like that's what being a leader is.
Matt Schneidman with the Bay Area News Group. I know you guys have played against each other. I don't know if Clemson and Mississippi State have played, but has there been some friendly banter? Some friendly banter already, I guess, specifically between you two so far?
I just met Josh. He had a little. Well, we beat them, so he can't talk about that. But it was a play in the Alabama game from this national championship where he really got the best of one of my guys, and I just had to let him know when we started practice. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let him do that to me. So that's just the start of it. You know what I mean? Right there, but.
I mean, you compete against these guys all the time. I think, like, that aspect of sports is changing. A lot of people, like, compete hard on the field but be best friends off the field. So, I mean, I like the way he compete. I like the way that both of them compete. I done played against them both. So I got a lot of respect for them in that game.
Chris Matthews, KLAS TV. How you doing? Welcome to Oakland. Let me ask you, such a unique situation all three of you guys are in. And Mayock talked about it last night where he interviewed 112 guys about, hey, you know what, the maturity levels and leadership and all that's going to be different because you're going to Vegas. You guys will be spending a majority of your careers in Las Vegas. Can I just get a reaction from each of you, how crazy, how unique, maybe how rewarding that might be? You're going from here to a $2 billion palace in Las Vegas, a city of entertainment. Can I just get some thoughts from you guys on that?
For me, I mean, I just look at it as all positive. You know, it's a place that doesn't have an NFL team, so you know a lot of fans, you know, get to come out and support. You know, a new team in the area. It's an untapped market, you know, for marketing and things like that. So it's a lot of upside to it rather than negatives.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I just feel like this is a chance for our organization to grow. You know, obviously from a player standpoint, people might think that players can get, you know, their focus can get off track, you know, when you're moving into a city like Las Vegas, man. But from what I know so far, we're trying to bring in the right guys that regardless of the situation of the outside sources, they have a vision for themselves as far as the football player in their life, you know what I mean? And that's something that I'm really big on, man. I could never obviously when you're young, you're gonna enjoy life, but you know you have a vision. So anything that detracts off of that, you wouldn't let that interfere with that. You know what I mean? So it's all about just making the right decisions and having people that want to do the right things and remember what's important. You know what I mean? So I can't wait. You know, it's gonna be a great transition and it's gonna be exciting for Raider football for sure.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be good too. I mean, but with the rich history here in Oakland, and with the great fans and everything here, it's going to be interesting to see the translation and how it carries over to Las Vegas. So, I mean, I just looked at the model of the new stadium, and I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Michael Gelkin, Las Vegas Review-Journal. All of you are in the NFL now, but to get here, each of you overcame adversity. Each of you have experienced hardship in some form. A question that Mike Mayock and John Gruden talked a lot about in the pre-draft evaluation was finding out what makes guys tick, what makes them get up in the morning, what makes them love football. Can each of you kind of answer that question in terms of what drives you, what has driven you to the NFL?
Well, for me, football is kind of like my peace. It's like the one place I feel like I can do no wrong in. We're growing up, doing everything that I've been through, being homeless and things like that, living in hotels and stuff. Football was always an outlet. So, I mean, that's what kind of drives me. That's where I found the love of the game, and that's why I play with so much emotion.
Yeah, for me, you know, I feel like I'm obligated, you know, coming from where I come from, the neighborhood that I grew up in, the people and the things that I saw growing up as a kid. Not many people get the opportunity to do what they love to do where I'm from. You know what I mean? So when I found that, it kind of made me really fall in love with the process and feel like I'm obligated as far as a sense of hope to the people to where I come from to take advantage of my opportunity, man, because a lot of people have a lot of love and they're passionate about things, but because of the situation, they can't chase those dreams. But I feel like for me, you know, I'm obligated to my family, my friends, and my community where I'm from to really show them, like, you know, you can take advantage of your opportunity and be what you want to be, not because of your situation for sure.
I mean, overall, for me, I have a daughter. So, I mean, she has helped me gain, you know, another sense of purpose, you know, for, you know, why I tick, what makes me get up in the morning. You know, I do a lot of things because I want to give her some opportunities and experiences that I didn't have growing up, you know, making sure that she has a better life than I had, you know, not saying I had a bad life. But as far as football, I just love football. I mean, there's nothing more to it. You know, getting to go out there and compete and, you know, play with some of the best guys on the face of earth. You know, now being in the NFL, you know, it's the top 3% of college players. So it's the best of the best, you know. It don't get no better than this. You know, this is what everybody watches. You know, this is what everybody, it's all eyes on us. And so just getting out there to go and compete, you know, winning your one-on-ones, every single player, there's no better feeling.
Paul Gutierrez here from ESPN.com. Josh, you mentioned that you played both of these guys. How hard do these guys hit? And what makes them unique and special to be first-round draft picks as defensive players in your estimation?
I mean, they guys, when you watching film and you studying, it's always some guys on film that you know, like, if you see him, you're going to have to bring it. You know what I'm saying? So every time I watched that game or even played against them, it was always a play where I seen him and I'm like, I don't know how this finna end up. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I got a lot of respect for both of them.
Right here.
I know he remember when I hit it. He remember when I hit it. He remember when I hit it.
He ain't running my side. He ain't running my side.
All right, right here in the middle again, Levi Damian from SB Nation. Josh, this question is for you. Mayock had said last night that he was on to you as a potential guy that they wanted to bring here way back at the national championship game when he had a few aha moments. Did he share with you what those moments were and what qualities that you displayed on those plays that attracted them to you?
He didn't talk to me too much about that. He did this morning, saying he told me that that's when he knew like we was potentially somebody that he would be looking at. He was just talking about how in the game when I was catching passes and not afraid to block people and things like that. So I think that's the majority of the things he was talking about.
Yeah, Josh, Jerry McDonald from the Bay Area News Group. Most of the time when a running back is taken in the first round, they come in, having been a 300 carry guy, maybe 1,500 and 1,600 yards, and maybe a little used up because of it. And the shelf life of a running back is short. Do you feel you were maybe blessed in a way to be used like you were at Alabama? And are you eager to kind of be more of a 3-down back and take on more of a load?
I'm definitely eager to prove not only to myself but to everybody that I can be a 3-down back. But yeah, I think it was a blessing how it played out. I feel like everything plays out how it's supposed to. But with me not having so much tread on the tires or whatever, and being so fresh, I think it's gonna be huge, especially for my position. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Jonathan, we heard a little bit of your phone conversation with Gruden last night, how you said you were going to light his ass up. What has he done to kind of motivate you to bring that hard-hitting mentality back to the secondary?
For me, I mean, I watch a lot of film, and I watch a lot of older guys, a lot of younger guys as well. But one of my favorites had to be, the LOB, Legion of Boom. One thing Gruden does, Gruden gets to talking, and Gruden make you feel like, I don't care who you are, he feel like you can run through a brick wall. That's just who he is. He's a football guy. He's a football junkie. That's what his life has evolved around. So for me, as far as hard hitting, I mean, like I said, when you watch the LOB, they made so many plays because they were hitting guys. Nobody wanted to run across the middle. Nobody wanted to catch the ball across the middle. So it created tips and overthrows. So a lot of plays were made simply because of that. And so that's a part of the reason that drives me, go out there and hit.
All right, everyone. One more question here.
Jesse Merrick from News 3 in Las Vegas. For all of you guys, playing in the SEC, the ACC, obviously for national championships, what would you say is the biggest thing that you guys take from your college career that will help you as pros?
For me, being at Mississippi State, SEC, you go against, the top tier of guys, week in and week out. So you have to prepare yourself mentally every week, prepare yourself physically every week. So, just pretty much just learning how to be a pro while you're in college. I mean, I know the seasons are longer, more tougher, but you get a taste of it being in the SEC and ACC of pretty much learning how to be a pro.
Yeah, man. And so for me, it's like I was blessed enough to play for a team where we competed at the highest level, every year. And I just remember it's just about enjoying the journey. When you want to reach that mountaintop, it's a long road up that thing. You know what I mean? So it's about doing the common things in an uncommon way. Because everybody gets the same amount of time. You know what I mean? Everybody gets the same number of practices. Everybody gets these workouts, these OTAs that we doing, and things like that, rookie mini camp. But it's about how you do them. You can't confuse activity with accomplishment. You got to do things in a way that you're going to better yourself, and you're going to make the most of every opportunity. So it's about doing the things that, are normal to everybody, but doing them in a way to where you really, get the most out of them. And that'll where you really see the success and the progress start to happen for sure.
I think Alabama helped me with becoming a pro and being a pro on and off the field, whether it's the structure of everything, learning how to be on time, time management, or even just football, working hard every day and things like that, but also teaching me life stuff with like finance and how to speak and all the other kind of things. So I think that they prepared me a lot.
Last two, Matt and Chris.
Matt from the Chronicle, just really quickly, just couldn't help but notice you guys are each wearing a different style of hat. I was wondering if that was an individual choice, and if so, what each of you liked about that?
I mean, they just gave us a couple to choose from. We just grabbed it.
I want as much gear as you can get, so you know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and throw it to me.
guess, final question. Can I just ask you guys, when you look at those caps and those different logos and that shield and like, I don't know, I can't remember which one of you mentioned the rich tradition. What does it actually mean to be a Raider?
For me, you know, like I said, you know, it's a rich history and tradition of all the type of DBs that play here. So for me, I mean, I can't speak for those guys, but for my position, it just means a lot, you know. It's a lot of greats that come before me, you know. That's where I want to be in my career when it's all said and done. So just to be able to put on the silver and black, it just, for me, it just means the world. Because, I mean, it's a DB organization.
I mean, yeah, just like he said, man, the rich tradition. You think of Al Davis, you just win, baby. You know, you got Boss Man sitting back there now, John Madden, all these great guys, not just players, but great football people that have came through this organization. And when I see this logo, I just think of toughness. I think of effort. I think of people who aren't afraid of the work and just want to do everything that it takes to get the job done. So it's really like a blessing just to know that you're going to be a part of an organization that wants the best from you and is going to expect a lot out of you. So, man, it's truly a blessing for sure.
Yeah, when I see it, I definitely think of rich culture, rich fan base, and a legendary organization. It's like one of them cornerstone organizations of the NFL. So, I mean, it's definitely just an honor and a blessing to be a part of it. And my favorite was the Bad Boy era. I was always big on that. Used to watch it a lot, 30 for 30 and all of that kind of stuff. So that's the thing that come to my mind the most.
Thank you, everyone. Very cool. You'll approach the stage for a photo op.